Hey, what's up, you guys? I just wanted to make this video real quick, touch up on this issue I always see in the gym, and it's just people not using proper technique. It happens a lot. I see it all the time. I even have my own personal friends that I tell them to, better their technique. But I mean, it's like everything, it goes in one ear and out the other. But there's reasons for it. There's reasons why you should have proper technique, or aka proper form. It develops better strength, better muscle maturity, it overall true strength, because what you press is what you can truly press correctly without losing your form in any type of workout, whether it's a pull or push. And it's just more effective and smarter. Why? Because when you have proper technique, you avoid injury. And incorrect technique is probably the number one cause of injury in the gym, believe it or not. And I've been in the gym for about eight years, going on 8 years now, consistently. So why it is, I brought up this study on muscle and fitness. It's called Top 10 Ways to Avoid Injury, but I'm only going to touch up on incorrect technique because it's one of the ones I see the most. So it goes on saying, the most common weight training injuries are those related to the use of poor exercise techniques. Incorrect technique can pull, rip, or wrench a muscle or tear delicate connective tissue quicker than you can strike a match. So basically, when you have incorrect technique and you've been doing this for a while, there's going to be a moment where you will reach injury. And when these injuries happen, they don't happen slowly, it just happens all of a sudden. Is when you feel that sharp pain and you're like, oh, when you drop the weight or something. Okay? An out of control barbell or stray dumbbell can wreak havoc in an instant. Each human body has very specific biomechanical pathways. Arms and legs can only move in certain ways, particularly if you're stressed loading a limb with weight. Strive to become a technical perfectionist and respect the integrity of the exercise. No twisting, turning, or contorting while pushing a weight. Either make the rep using perfect technique or miss the weight. And also learn how to miss a rep safely. Learn how to bail out. Okay, you guys. So here are some examples of what I feel is improper technique. And I'm going to use some common exercises in the gym. One of the things I see is squat rack. I see a lot of people rack up a lot of weight, do not have proper technique. Their back is not arched, their feet are not shoulder width apart and flared out, and they're not even going parallel. In my opinion, going negative, aka ass to grass, is probably the best way to develop your muscle group, because you're using full range of motion, which is the second point after proper technique, which in all is part of proper technique, because you're using full range of motion, you're using proper form. If you can't go ass to grass with 315 pounds on the barbell, then you need to drop the weight and perform the exercise properly. Why? Because this is going to yield better results, better muscle maturity in the future. I see a lot of people work out with their ego and they'll rack up, 405 pounds on the bench press. And they're not even using proper form. For example, when you're on the bench press, elbows tucked down, and you press straight down, touches the chest, and you press back up. What happens is when you start to use a lot of weight, elbows start to flare out, and you start to do these 90-degree reps, which are not even full range of motion. And what you're putting at risk here is your rotator cuff, your shoulders, and that could potentially wreak havoc on your body and injure you and put you out of the gym for long periods of time, if not permanently. So it's very, very important to learn your form, to learn your technique, to learn your proper full range of motion. And I can't stress this enough. A lot of people may say, oh, here comes the form police. Well, you know what? Call it what you want. But at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be out of the gym and injured because you weren't willing to listen. And it's like everything else in life. There's certain protocols, certain ways to do things properly. But people don't want to go through that because of the fact that they realize that they are still very weak. When you use proper technique and when you use full range of motion, you realize that you're not able to press or pull as much as you thought you could. So all in all, you have to have patience. You have to be willing to endure and continue your fitness journey, knowing that you will get there. It's better to know that you will get there safely than to get there or probably never even get there because you hurt yourself on the way there. You guys have to really perfect your technique. And when I say perfect your technique, is proper form, proper full range of motion. If the limb is another proper full range of motion. Someone doing a barbell curl, and I'm going to do it like this because I can't obviously stand up. They'll curl up and then they'll go about mediocre 45 degrees and then back up. They're repping like this. No. Full range of motion, if the limb is still able to stretch out completely, then do a complete full range of motion and then contract up. Full range of motion. If you're able to squat and go back parallel, why not? Use your full range of motion. It will yield better results in the future. And if you can't use full range of motion because you have too much weight on the rack or on whatever exercise you're performing, then lower the weight. You will stimulate more muscle growth if you lower the weight and you perform the technique properly. So with that being said, you guys, I hope this video helps. I will put the link down below so you guys can go check out the study on muscleandfitness.com. And with that being said, you guys, I will see you soon on the next one.